Hello everyone, this is Janet Bloom, and in this video lecture I'd like to talk about using calendar software for recording appointments and creating contacts. Now this information is from tasks 2 and 3 from project 1, so on page 2 of your textbook, and you can see that there are some related appendices with some additional theory for you to read. So the content within this video and within the theory in the appendices is testable material, but I can tell you that we will only be using this for theory tests, so true, false, or multiple choice. You will not have to actually go into calendar software and record appointments and create contacts. So we're just looking at the theory of these particular items. Now I'm going to show you this by using the product that we use here at Fanshawe College called Microsoft Outlook. And I'm using version 2016. And I'm actually using the Outlook web app as opposed to the full-blown version, but it does have almost all of the features that the full version has. Now you can see in the view that I currently have right now, I can see my little calendar over here, and I can certainly click on different dates to see what's going on any particular day. The current date is always highlighted in some regard within the calendar software, so you can see in this version it's highlighted with a red box, but the date that you're currently sitting on is in red. If I did have an appointment, it would appear in a dark black or almost a bold kind of a view. I can view this by day. I can look at a work week view, so this is a Monday to Friday view. I can look at an entire week, so that would include weekends. And I can also look at a monthly view, so if I wanted a month at a glance. I can go back to the current date by choosing Go to Today, and then go back to my daily view. And of course, there's many features available to you here and different ways of doing things. So this is just one type of calendar software, but it is pretty popular. But certainly the steps for doing some of these things may vary, but the concepts remain the same in all of your calendar software. So if I need to book my new appointment, so I'm looking at my invitation letter for my conference, and it says the hours are 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. November 6th and 7th, and 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on November 8th. So this is for the national conference that's being held in Vancouver, British Columbia. And so when I go to new, I can then go ahead and put in my subject. So I'd put in conference and I'd put in the details, national conference in Vancouver, British Columbia, but I'll just keep it short here for the sake of time. I'll just put in BC, but of course I'd put in as many details as possible. I'm going to select my date. So my first date was going to be November 6th. So when I click on November 6th, and my start time is going to be 8 a.m. according to the letter, and the end time is 4 p.m. Once I've selected the time, I can then decide if I want to have a reminder, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, a day before, a week before, etc. I can show the time as tentative as per the instructions, as opposed to one of the other options. Tentative just means it's not quite booked yet, but I'm just kind of saving the date, if you will. Down here in this area, I can type any information that pertains to the conference that I think might be useful. So for example, in my letter, I know that I'm going to be presenting at this year's session, and they have reserved a 2 p.m. time slot on November 7th. So when I go to book my November 7th date, I probably will want to put a little note to myself here that I'm going to reserve that time slot. So to book the November 7th date, of course, I could save this and then repeat the steps under November 7th, or I can just click this repeat button and allow the software to repeat it for me. So some of the details are already filled in. So I want to repeat this daily, and I just want to repeat it once and have it end by the 7th of November. And so that is only one occurrence. And so when I do that and I click on OK, you can see that it's going from 8 to 4, effective November 6th and November 7th. Okay? And again, I might want to add that little note about presenting on November 7th. Once I've got that all set up, I hit save and close. And if I look at my calendar now and I go over, let's go to a monthly view and click on November, I can see on those two dates I've got the conference booked. And if I wanted more information, I could click on the day and look at a daily view to see all of the details that I had typed in. Now, if I wanted to delete one of these dates for whatever reason, when I go ahead and right click and choose delete, I will get a message asking whether I just want to delete this one occurrence on the 6th, or whether I want to delete the entire series, which would delete the 6th and the 7th. I'll go ahead and delete the entire series, and then you can see they're gone from the calendar. So that is how we go ahead and record appointments and manage them and delete them. Of course, we can also edit them by double-clicking and editing just the one occurrence or the entire series if we needed to change the date, the time, the text, and so on. Now, the other option that we have within Microsoft Outlook is to add a contact. And so this is handy so that we can send mail to them easily and have a record of everyone that we meet. So we'll go ahead and choose New, and you can see that we do get an untitled contact window where we can fill in all of the details. Fill in as much as you can about a person, including any notes. So if you actually meet them, or perhaps there's some information in the letter that would give you a bigger picture about who this person is what this person is all about, and the company that they work for. Perhaps they've notified you that their company department won an award, or maybe they're going to be moving in a year, or even something that's personal. You can add that directly in the notes of the contact so that when you meet up with this person, you have all of their details. And so for our contact, you can see we would get the details from our letter. We can see it's from Anastasia Christian, who's the president, and the letterhead indicates the company name, Canadian Society for Training, as well as all of the company details for the address and contact information. And again, scan through the letter and see if there's any other information that might be useful to include within your notes. Once I have that information, of course, I'm going to hit Save and Close, and that will add the contact to our contact list. And so that is how we use calendar software for recording appointments and creating a contact.